Okay there. My name is Selena Still, and I'm going to be showing you how I made this shoe shelf organizer. So if you're interested, be sure to keep watching. So now what I'm doing, I'm just putting on my mask to make sure I don't get any sawdust in my nose, because that is sneeze city. So after that, I'm just going to put on some safety goggles to make sure I also don't get any sawdust in my eyes. Again, super important, because that's awful. And then I'm just sanding down all the sides and edges of the wood so I make sure it's nice and smooth, but also that the stain can have something to stick to. Also, if you notice, when I first turned it on, I looked kind of scared because this was actually my first time using this particular sander. I've used some in the past. Now all I'm doing is I have some water and vinegar solution, which I'm going to use to wipe down the board just to make sure there's no extra sawdust on the board. The next thing I'm going to do is to start to apply the stain, and I'm going to put my mask back on because I'm not sure if the stain is toxic, but it never hurts to have a mask on. So I'm just going on and applying. And at first it looked super dark, and I was kind of worried that the stain would be too dark for what I wanted. But in all honesty, once I went back and let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes and rubbed off the excess, it really started to look the color I wanted. Now that I've let the stain sit for 10 to 15 minutes, I'm just going back and wiping the wood down with an old t-shirt. This step is super important because any stain that's left on the wood and not absorbed is just going to become sticky and tacky, and it's not a good feeling on the wood at all. So make sure you do this on any wood staining project, no matter what it is. So it's the next day, yay! After letting it dry, this is what it looks like. So it's a bit lighter. However, there's some spots I want to touch up, so I'm just going to redo the whole thing, repeat the whole process of applying the stain and wiping it off. Have the unspray painted, just normal steel bracket, and I am nailing it in using some regular construction grade nails. As you're nailing in the bracket, you want to make sure you keep it in line with the board. The bracket I had actually lined up with the board pretty perfectly, so I had to be spot on with my placement, and I made sure to check between nailing and make sure it was lined. You might hit the wood in certain areas, but for this look it doesn't really matter, and you can just fix that up with a little bit of stain afterwards. And I'm just showing you how it looks and how it lines up with the wood, and I think it looks pretty good. We'll see when I actually put it up how it looks. So now what I'm doing is marking where my bracket's going to be with my power drill. I'm just going to start by making a small mark at first, at the first hole, and then marking the other two, so that way I know exactly where to line up the bracket, and only have to drill one time versus freehanding it and drilling maybe multiple times to get the right spot. And now on the other side, I'm measuring how far away to start my bracket. This side didn't have any imperfections, so I didn't have to worry, but I started on the right side because there was that huge notch hole thing that I needed to avoid. So now I'm just copying on the left side. And I'm taking some screws, and at total I needed 6 screws because there's 3 holes in each bracket, and I'm using screws instead of nails because when it's time for me to move, I can just undo the brackets and unscrew them, versus if I used nails, I would be stuck with the wood and the brackets being connected. So on the bracket there's this ridge, and it was really hard to work around the ridge. So some of the nails didn't go in quite as smooth as I would like with the power drill, so I just took a hand screw and screwed them in. So this is what it looks like with both the brackets on. And this is the overview of both the shelves mounted on my wall. I don't know what happened, but I lost the footage of me actually mounting them, which is not a super big deal. So a little bit closer look, this is what it looks like with the black bracket and black mount, and then the next one is the silver mount with the silver bracket. So yeah, one last overview, this is what it looks like. I do have a clock that's up at the top, but it's kind of hard to get everything in one frame. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!